Welcome to the 18th Hammer tutorial. This is a 2-part tutorial, maybe 3 parts, depending on how long this runs. This tutorial is going to teach you how to do cell shading. And what cell shading is these black lines that are around the border of brushes. And if you play Borderlands, you'll see cell shading. That whole game is cell shaded. It gives it a cartoon effect that makes it look really good. Screenshot courtesy of FPS Banana. So I'm going to show you how to do this. This tutorial is going to be fairly hard to learn, but it's very time consuming as well. So make sure that you're committed before you start to do this. So what we're going to do is we're going to load up the map or starting map or whatever you're going to do. I'm going to load my pre-built test box that I have here. I'm going to clear everything from the old tutorial. Alright, so now I just have a room, and I'm going to create a 64 unit by 64 unit box from the dev texture. If you just want to do that too, you can. It's your choice. And then I'm just going to place it on the grid, make it 64 by 64. Alright. And now we have this box here, right? So this box we're going to cell shade. Right now it just looks pretty cartoony. There's nothing special about it right now, but you do want to make it funk detail. That's important. Almost anything that you cell shade is probably going to be smaller, so funk detail it. That's not for everything though. So now what you want to do is you want to grab your invisible texture, and it matters. You can't use no draw, you can't use skip. It has to be the invisible texture. And now what you're going to do is you want to raise the box into the air, or the item that you're cell shading into the air. Copy it. Then I usually make it like 8 segments bigger. Make sure that they're met up like that, so you should have one item inside the other. And now you want to apply the invisible texture. Press Ctrl H for hollow, and you want to set it to 2. Alright, and now you should have a 2-unit barrier, or a 2-unit area in between the inside of the hollowed out invisible box and your new box. Now you want to ungroup the new box and go to your vertex tool. Now you want to take all the vertex points and put them so they're all exactly 2 segments away from any side of the box, and that they meet up on the inside only. So this right here, we want to move that over so it makes that like 90-degree angle shape. You want to do that to everywhere, so that way you don't get any extra brush that ruins the look of cell shading. So go ahead and do that. Alright, then after you're done, deselect the vertex manipulation tool, and now you should have this box with the box inside of it. Just make sure all your points are that angle. And now that you've done that, you want to do a search for black, just black. And then I usually use CS Italy /black. You can really use any color for cell shading. Typically you only want to use a solid color. So you can make a custom green texture, blue texture, white, whatever you want to do. And now you want to position your camera inside the box and apply black to the inside faces only. So now when you're inside, all you can see is just black. And now, if you go out, you'll see the beginning of that cell shading effect. See, there's one brush here that went over a couple segments. So if you forgot about a brush or two, it's no big deal. Just grab your vertex manipulation tool again and fix it really quick. Alright. So this box is cell shaded. Now the one last thing that you want to do to every cell shaded item is just on the black area, you want to press Control T and make it a Funk Illusion area. This makes it so it's not solid, does not cast shadows, and bullets can penetrate it. So when you shoot the box, it does actually still make bullet holes on the box. Then you usually just group them together and then slap that puppy on the ground wherever you want it to be. Just remember, only the inside box has collisions because of the Funk Illusionary. Now, if you want to do some different shapes, like maybe you have some spheres that you want to make cell shaded. Now, you can only do this with displacements. If you do this with normal brush, it won't work. So this is purely for looks. These won't be animated whatsoever. So, I'm going to make another 64 by 64 box. Then you want to make it a displacement. Make mine power of, I don't know, probably 3. No, 2 is good. Alright. And now to make a sphere, if you don't know how, with displacements, after you have your box, you just click subdivide. Now it's a sphere. So now you want to texture your sphere to whatever texture you're going to use. So I'm just going to use the depth texture here. I use a different one. The lighter gray. Alright, and now you want to make another box out of no-draw around it, and now press now unsnap to grid and make it couple segments bigger. 8 again is usually what I do. And then you just want to meet up the points again in the middle, the origin. After those are met up, you want to hollow it again. So Control H, 2. You want to do the exact same thing to this one as you did the other one, but this time you cannot miss any points at all. You have to get them all in the first try, otherwise it won't work. So just make sure you hit them all. Take your time on it. If you don't get them all, you will probably encounter an error. Alright, so looks like I have all mine. Now you want to select the Face Edit Sheet tool and select just the inside faces. And click Displacement tab, Create, with the same power outside circle. Now you'll see that everything we see on the outside is gone. Only the inside faces are now displacements. So now you just want to subdivide, create a circle around it. Actually, if you have some problems, just make sure your grid's lined up. Mine wasn't. You just click subdivide. And now you want to grab your black texture again, go on and apply it to the inside faces only to the displacement, and boom, a cell shaded circle. So the one thing about these are, just remember, displacements can never move no matter what, and they do not cut vis leaves. So that's something you don't have to worry about. So you don't have to funk detail these, because they'll never cut vis leaves ever.